So here's a quick one about a wife and mother whose polyamorous lifestyle has come back to haunt her by the way that her teenage daughters hate her guts. Title: After my husband's passing, my daughters think poorly of me. I feel so crushed. Shout out to Mark for sending me the story. She says here, I've recognized myself as poly for a very long time. And when I met my husband years ago, he was about the same lifestyle as well. We raised our daughters, both of them 17 years old, to be SCX positive and aware of all the different types of relationships there are, and they never had a problem with us having other partners. You sure about that? Really? We've had countless conversations about feelings, and I thought we ironed out all the problems that would occur. I've had another partner for 6 years. My husband had partners through this time, but they were never around for very long, as he always said that he was content with just me. Ding, 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 there's a clue. Our dynamic was fine, and I never noticed or heard anything that may sound alarming to me from the kids. Last year, my husband passed away from COVID. It's been an absolute struggle, and I've been so low that I don't think I can ever come up again. Since the passing of their father, they've changed entirely. We've been to therapy sessions and have argued and screamed at each other until the house was a broken mess. And now it's just silence. What are they fighting about? Maybe they're pissed off at their mother for leading this lifestyle. Maybe because their father's gone, they want some kind of normalcy in their lives. Maybe, just maybe, they weren't okay with this whole thing, but as they were children, weren't in a position to fight and argue and say things to their parents. As hard as that is to imagine with teenagers, maybe. And maybe they got the feeling their dad wasn't happy with this whole arrangement, but went along with it for her. One of those things. It says here, they both have expressed their anger and disgust towards me. They think their father was treated unfairly and that my relationship with partner 2 was embarrassing and abusive. There you go. And keep in mind, this is her telling the story in a way that benefits her. For years, we discussed that there was no love lost and that we cared deeply for one another, but they don't want to reason. I never thought this day would come. I'm truly alone now. The girls will not hear me out or even see past their grieving. They've unleashed a barrage of hurt, whether it be together or individually. They've not taken a step back from their stance on me, and as they get closer to turning 18, I truly fear I will lose them forever. Well, you chose to live this lifestyle. And yes, she says that he was like this in the beginning, but clearly I just don't buy, from the little things I'm putting together, that he was very happy about that. Last night's fight was just too much. I told him that me and B, the other partner, have been on a break, but that I needed him around now that it's been a year since the passing. They basically ostracized me with all their might. Because they're thinking, how can you just move on from dad or not care about dad? They're mad, embarrassed, and feel cheated for some reason. They bring up how their friends have normal families and that all their friends know that I'm the mom that sleeps around. Because that's what it is to them. The amount of hurtful things said to me every time emotions run high is staggering. My mental health is so far gone that I can't even focus on work or sleep at night right now. I have dreams of my husband, and in them he tells me how I mistreated him or how he was only there for the girls. I feel so grotesque. I actually regret my life decisions because of this. He's haunting her. All along he probably stayed in it for the kids. Now, does that mean he was talking to her from the afterlife? Probably not, but hey, you never know. They hate me. They want a mother and father that resembled the fairy tales. Are you telling me, in her opinion, a household with just mom and dad and the children is a big giant fairy tale? Newsflash, honey. The idea that what you consider to be a lifestyle, the poly lifestyle, open marriage, open relationship, is going to work, that is a fairy tale. Nothing good ever comes from this shit. Okay? The relationships, the marriages break up. It screws up the kids. I've done countless stories here. It is coming back to haunt you, and you don't want to deal with it. They want to grow up seeing a love story they could relate to one day. But what they got was me and their father constantly telling them to be okay with this. To be okay with me having someone else that wasn't their father, while other parents around them had rock-solid monogamous marriages that had normal conversations, and no outside disturbances from other men and women. Gee, is that too much to ask for the kids of her mom and dad? Or say her mom, because let's be honest here, mom ran the show. I'm not looking for suggestions or advice. I'm just writing this to get off my chest. I know they are young and naive, but I see where their morals and beliefs align. Naive? Now, let's be fair here. I guarantee you, the vast majority of their friendships that have mom and dad, just mom and dad, probably are unhappy, but at least they're trying, right? As opposed to this bullshit. They'll grow out of this phase, I'm certain, but I can already tell this has made them think poly or any other type of relationship that allows more than one man and one woman to be an evil thing. Well, lady, it speaks for itself with the countless stories posted online, YouTube, about how these things don't work. And then maybe they work for the two parties involved, but they usually screw up the kids and something like that, and it's come back to bite you. But instead of maybe looking at yourself and saying, maybe I've gone wrong here, maybe my children have a point, instead, they're the bad guy. You can see her attitude here. And again, I question whether her husband was actually okay with this, but it was just, in her view, to benefit her, that he went along with this from the beginning and blah, blah, blah. But if she said that he wasn't into many long-term partners, that she was enough for him, what does that say? But clearly the daughters know more than she knows, and she doesn't want to accept it. It doesn't work, period.